now. Okay, everybody. Hi. Welcome to a comp plan review. It's Janice, and we've got a full house here. And I'm just recording the session right now. So I wanted to start off and just welcome everybody for taking the time out to hear what's going on. And wanted to know if you guys had any specific questions that you wanted me to kind of cover before I just go over some of the basics. Anybody?
Yeah, I specific wouldn't mind you going if you look in the back office, going through kind of each of the the endorsement bonus, retailer bonuses,
Okay.
Go through each one of those and kind of explain how you get them, and what exactly I guess, and specifically okay, first month, and then what happens into your second month, how
Okay.
things change. I think would be quite helpful. For me to try and explain at this point to new promoters I'm bringing on, I'm like, I don't even know where it's coming from. I'm starting to learn, but then I think I know, and then I look and I'm like, I still don't know. I just feel really confused. So
Right. The that's not a bad place to be, actually, because our comp plan does have a lot of moving parts. And I don't know, did anybody hear does anyone listen to those? It's noon Eastern Standard Time, so it'd be 1 o'clock for you guys. The Michael Rutherford Huddle Ups. Does anyone get a chance to log on? I know I don't always listen to it right at noon, but then the replay is up for 24 hours.
Hopefully down where I'm at.
No, not much. They're really good. One of them, there was.
It's the ketosis. Grab the box, baby.
Janice, maybe just mute everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, if you guys, I guess I could mute everyone. If you guys aren't talking, maybe you can mute and then just unmute when you have a question. Okay. One of the things that Nick Martinez did a great job last week, and he was talking about the comp plan and how to explain it to people. And he was on a three-way call, and it was like, okay, so what do you have to do? And one of the things he always likes to do before he just starts getting into the nuts and bolts of the comp plan is really talk about, well, how do you want to present it? How do you want people to have the takeaway? And he really talks about the play that works. If you're talking to a prospect, or if you're talking to someone on your team and you're doing a three-way call for them, one of the things, he says, well, how did you get on the call? What was the first thing that Joanne said to you, for example? Did she ask you a question like, what do you know about ketones or ketosis? And, as he's answering the question of, what do I need to do to get started? He's kind of talking about how to get started. And he's going through all the steps, right? He's going through all the steps of, well, you probably got here because somebody asked you, what do you know about ketones or ketosis? And that's what we call the play that works. And once you do that, then it's the watch, connect, and roll. And so talking about the steps of how we do our business is also at the same time explaining how it works, right? Because after somebody probably watched the video, then did they get a sample? Did they get a 10-day? Then they connected, they got on a three-way call. And so people are experiencing the system. When you're pointing out the process that you went, you're explaining the system as well. And that's a lot of times really powerful, because not everyone needs to know, it depends on what color you are, whether you're a green or a blue or a red, how much detail you need to know about the comp plan. So I always like to open up with that, because it's really, when you're explaining it to people, it's not when someone says, okay, well, send me the comp plan, or, okay, what do I need to do to get started? I don't always just go into the Go Challenge. I don't always go into, okay, you need to get endorsed, you need to do customers, then you need to go pro, go MVP, because it's almost too much information. I talk about the system that works and then kind of plugging in as you go. And that's for newer people. A lot of times that's all they need to know. But having said that, I'm just going to open up my back office here for a second and then just kind of go through. Okay, I'm just on, I'll screen share with everybody. and then I'll kind of go through this section and just sort of break it down. And then you guys can ask questions as you go, and hopefully we'll get everything covered. All right? So, okay. I'm trying to do this without my glasses on so I can see you guys. Am I screen sharing now? Yeah, perfect. Okay. So this is your back office, and this is the rewards tab, obviously. If I am going too fast or too slow, just jump in and just, like let me know. It's like you want clarification on that, or this is, like move on, you've got a more specific question. But one of the things that I want to point out with our rewards plan, the rewards tab rather, everything is about these arrows at the end, right? And if you look at every section is every portion of the comp plan has its own black bar. So when I'm explaining to somebody, I kind of go through that, right? Look at it as section by section by section. So the first one is your rank and what you need, again, and tell me if this is too basic or not. But really, I like to gamify this. If something's not green, then you want to click at the arrow at the end of the row. What do I need to do to get green? And it'll tell you what you need and what you get from it as well. So it's everything that you need is all right here. And I'm just putting the other people off to the side here. All right. So it's broken up into, we get paid weekly or daily, weekly, monthly, and then quarterly. And the comp plan is also broken, the rewards tab rather, is broken up the same way. So the first section, even though within all of these black tabs here, you'll see that there's a big white section. And the first one is the weekly bonuses. So the weekly bonuses, everything that you get paid here is Go MVP, Go Pro, your mentor bonus, Go All-Star, and then your Go Fast bonuses. That's all the weekly pay. And as most of you know, the compensation or the weekly pay period goes from like Monday at 12:01 a.m. right through to midnight Central Standard Time. So for you, I think that's like 2 in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm off on my my time zones there. But so everything that happens in these categories, you get paid on the Friday following. So Sunday at midnight, Central Standard Time, the weekly pay closes, and then that gets paid out the next week. So in weekly pay, you've got your Go Pro bonus. And so if you click there, you can see what you need. You need to be qualified. Personal qualifying volume is your own orders. Here's the qualification period, how much BV, how many customers, and then how much TV. And if you're not sure, if you don't remember what you get with the Go Pro, what you do is you click on this More Info button, and it tells you exactly what you get. You get a one-time cash bonus of $250. You get Prove It bucks, you get 100, and that's on top of all of the regular commissions that'll show up as we go through the different sections. So, and then it doubles, sorry, excuse me, let's get some water. I just gotta get some water, apologize, one sec. Sorry about that. Okay. Does everyone understand what the double level is on level 2, 3? What the levels mean? You just want me to touch on that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So for customers, if you go into your community tab, you'll see all the levels of the people there as you're looking. Your customers are what are called level 0. And then when one of your promoters enrolls a customer, one of your customers enrolls a customer, that's your level 1, level 2, level 3. Promoters are a little bit different. When you personally enroll a promoter, they're your level 1. So if I enroll Allison, she's my level 1. If Allison enrolls Melinda, Melinda's my level 2. And so when you get the first part of your Go challenge, when you get the Go Pro bonus, you double the Go Fast bonuses, which is the commission paid out on promoters only. You double that on level 2 and 3, and then it unlocks level 4. So that Go Fast bonus is all to do with promoters. Okay, so your weekly bonuses are all, oops, let me go back here. Your weekly pay is basically all promoter related. You've got your Go Pro bonus, Go MVP, the same thing. It's kind of basically doubling what you do with your Go Pro, and that's how I explain it to people. When you first start, you want to get 2 customers. You want to get 1,000 TV, of which 800 needs to be your personally enrolled. And the difference is, why that number is different, is BV is bonus volume. That's everything you personally do. It's the total volume of all your promoters and all your customers. Your TV, your team volume, is everything you do plus everything that your level 1 and your level 2 and level 3 promoters do. So what they're encouraging, I always look at, okay, why does the comp plan look like this? What are they hoping to encourage? And so why they're having the difference between the bonus volume and the team volume, is because they want to encourage you not just to go do this yourself, but to help your team start to do it. Because you want to really, to get that duplication, that acceleration, when you get your first 2 customers and then you bring on a promoter, you've got what you Go Pro. So as you're going pro, as you're going to the next step, Go MVP, which is basically doubling what your efforts that you did to Go Pro, you want to get your first promoter to be doing to Go Pro the same thing. So that's how you want to just like keep that kind of momentum chugging along. I like to have a mindset of Go Pro in a week, Go MVP in 2 weeks. And so if I go pro in a week and I've brought on a promoter, then I'm helping them go pro in a week. If you can really get that duplication and have that mindset that you don't need the full 30 days to do it, that if you can find 2 customers and a promoter in your first week, if you've done that, that's your story. And that's kind of the speed that you're going to lead your team, right? You hear Brian Underwood always say the speed of the team is the speed of the leader. So if you can do this in a week and 2 weeks, then you're going to get your team doing that and building that momentum. And that really starts to get your volumes up and start to get everybody paid, right? It's not just about your volume getting up, but if you're getting paid and you're duplicating like that, then your team's getting paid. Then that's a beautiful thing, because you want everyone to get paid because we're all in this together, right? So that's I know we might get cut off, so I'm going to just go through some of these a little bit quickly. That's your Go MVP. Your MVP mentor bonus. So this is everybody in your first 3 levels, which makes up your team volume. Everybody that goes that goes MVP in level 1, 2, and 3, you get $50, right? So if you click on more info here, you're being rewarded for, you're getting the $50. You're being rewarded for helping your team go pro, right? You're just for mentoring them. They have what's called these power-ups. So you're able to unlock more levels, right? You can see here, level 1, 2, and 3 is $50. Levels 4 to 8 is $20. So if you can what's called power up, and in this case here, it tells you what you need to power up, then you can unlock your mentor bonus. So as your team starts getting deeper and building, this really starts to add up. Because if you've enrolled, if someone on your level 3 enrolls somebody and help, and together we all help them go MVP, you still get a little piece of that. You get $20 on top of all of the Go Fast bonuses and commissions. So it starts to, nice little weekly add-on. And the one thing that I always look at on the weekly pay is I like to look at metrics in my business, right? If you're not getting, instead of just saying, okay, I want to have X amount of volume for the month, if that's your target or your goal for that month, I always like to break that down into chunks. I have a goal of, let's say I want $150 a week in my mentor bonus and Go Fast bonuses in my weekly pay. That's a good measurement to have, because now that's driving behavior. That means you're bringing on some people, you or your team, are bringing on promoters, which is going to continually help, building your team, growing the numbers, and everybody's getting paid weekly bonuses. So that's a good thing to look at. What did I get paid this past week? If it's nothing, and if your weekly pay for this week right now is 0, today's Monday. You've got 6 more days to say, okay, how can I help my team bring on new promoters so that we can share this conversation and grow the community. So to unlock the levels on your mentor bonus, there's, sorry, I just need to get my glasses here. You need to achieve MVP, and stay qualified just means to stay on your smart ship. And then your accelerators, there's a couple ways that you can do it. The first one is to achieve All-Star, and I'll talk about that next. All-Star is creating 5 personally enrolled MVP. So if you went All-Star and then you had 5 personally enrolled customers in the last 31 days, and this is what's called look back, this last 31 days. So it's from today. It's not a calendar month. It's from today, and it goes back 31 days. So to unlock your mentor bonus for levels 4 to 8, there's 2 ways to do it. The first one is to go All-Star and to maintain 5 personally enrolled customers on a 31-day look back. If you didn't go All-Star, you can still unlock those levels with the next qualifiers. This one is you have 10 personally enrolled customers. And if you didn't go All-Star, so this is your goal, you want in the last 31 days, you want to have 10 personally enrolled customers, and you want to have 1,500 personal volume, that's BV, in the last 31 days. So there's 2 ways that you can unlock the accelerated or the other levels of the mentor bonus. Does that make sense? Anyone need clarification on that, or do you want me to move on?
So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So with that last one, so if you don't make it the first time with that 31 days, is that at any point you hit 31 days where you have person enrolled 10 people? Like it just keeps going at any point. It could be a year from now when you hit it, or whatever.
Yeah, great catch.
Qualify for that.
So let's say you didn't hit All-Star, because All-Star you get the first 120 days, right? So you're 5 months into your business. You haven't hit All-Star, but your team's growing. It's starting to get a little bit of depth, and you're seeing in your community all the different levels. You can qualify. Let's say month 5 you didn't qualify. You only had 8 customers. Month 6 you can unlock those levels. This is kind of a live document, right? This is a live thing that you can get. So at any 31-day period, and nothing's going to show here because this is just a test account that I have, but you can click on this arrow here, and this will show you all the customers that you have that are counting towards these 10. And it'll show you when they come on. So in the next 4 days, 3 customers are going to drop off. So you need to fill that funnel and get those 10 customers, right? So in answer to your question, yes. In any one period, as long as you have 1,500 volume and 10 customers in the last 31 days, you can unlock that. If your customers drop off, you can get this month and not next month. So that's something that you can qualify for off and on. So go All-Star, touched on that super quick. You have 120 days, and you need 5 MVPs. Okay. This is a new qualifier that they added. I apologize. So you need to, in the month that you go All-Star, you need 5 MVPs and 5 customers in the last 31 days, and you get $1,000 one-time bonus. Because you can just click there and it'll show you you get $1,000 USD, right? Did I mention USD? That was a joke for our first mastermind. Yep.
So for the Go All-Star, but that's only your first 4 months, is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
So you can't, if it's 5 months, you can't hit that.
That's right. Sometimes, I think I've only seen it once, and Karen, or anyone that's been around longer can correct me. They did have an All-Star. You know how sometimes they have the MVP reset? I've seen once in the 2 years that I've been with 2.5 years I've been with the company, they had one All-Star reset. Not a common thing. But if you don't hit it, it's a one-time deal in the first 120 days. And if they do have a reset, then there'll be like certain qualifications around that. All right. So go fast bonus.
Sorry,
This
can I have one more
Oh,
question?
absolutely.
I'm the one that takes a long time to learn things, but
All good. I'd rather you have a question. I'd rather you get it.
so the MVP mentor bonus, you can earn that every month?
Yep. Every week. This is a weekly pay.
Oh, it's every week. Okay.
Yeah.
So
any when you get that pulse update that somebody on your team went MVP, if they're in your first 3 levels, they're part of your team volume, you get $50 that week.
right.
The week that they go MVP. And then if you've powered up and you've unlocked the levels 4 to 8, then anybody in your first 8 levels goes MVP in that week, you get paid that. Either $50 or $20.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I just want to say one quick thing. So, because I don't know if everybody does know. So if you don't hit your Go MVP in your first 30 days, the company does sometimes do resets like Janice was saying, because I don't know if everybody realizes that. So if you don't hit it, and then, because I have friends that have started and they're like, I just want free product and whatever, and they're not really like gung-ho to like work the business. But then as they get going, they're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then when a reset comes up, then we just try to make sure that they hit it then so that they unlock those bonuses.
Yeah, that's a good ad, Karen. Thank you. Because if you just want to get your endorsement bonus, which we'll cover, which is just your prove it batch and your free product, then great. You know what? Because I always ask people, not everybody wants to make, $10,000 a month. Some people just want to make $500 a month or $100 or just get some free product. I always like to ask everybody. I say, some people just want to like get some free product. Other people want to dip their toe in a little bit more, get some free product and make a few dollars. And other people want to be a bigger part of this community and want a bigger seat at the table and want to have this as a serious income. And I ask people to self-rate them. Where do you see yourself fit in? Because then you can explain all what you need to explain in the comp plan. Not everybody needs to know everything. And to Karen's point, sometimes people don't know what they don't know. So I kind of like to say, hey, this is what's available. I'll get into more detail if you want to know. But once they're getting some free product and they're getting some success and people are starting to ask them about it, and they're like, okay, now I want to like be serious about this business. You want to really max capitalize when there's an MVP reset, because it's the difference of, it's like 5% or 10%, 5%, 10% on your Go Fast bonus. Here, you know what? Instead of me throwing numbers out, I'll show you in the next section. This is a good segue. So Go Fast bonus is the commission you make when a promoter comes on with a pack. If a promoter comes on and pays $37 and doesn't buy any product, you don't make any Go Fast bonus. So if people aren't looking to start with some product, I say just be a customer. So the Go Fast bonus, I'm gonna click on the more info and show you what the difference is. If you are just paid your $37 and you're a promoter, you get 20% on personally enrolled customers or personally enrolled promoters, 20% on the volume of whatever pack they have. And so that's always going to change, because if somebody buys an experience pack when it's 20% off, the volume is also discounted. So it's 20% on the volume of their order, right? Even if they buy one box of Max, it's 20%. If they buy a box of Max at full price, it's 80 volume, and they pay their $37, then you would make $16, because that's 20% of their order, the 16. Now, if you did not go Pro, go MVP, you get 20% on level 1, 5% on level 2, 10% on level 3. But once you go Pro, go MVP, it doubles up. Level 1 still is 20%, but you get an additional 5% on level 2, 3% on level, or 10% on level 3, and then it unlocks level 4, 5%. So instead of it just being 25-10, it's now 20-10-25. that's a big deal. You've kind of doubled your income. So if anyone is looking at this as a business and they're not prepared to go MVP in the first month, I try to just say, look, you just want to be a customer. Because when you want to go MVP, you want to unlock all of this, then it starts to, that's when you're going to start making some money. So the Go Fast bonus also has the power up. And the power ups, same thing, it's one of two ways. Okay? So the first one is, I'm sorry, there's excuse me. It's kind of two stages. You know what, sorry, the wording here, they've changed the wording a little bit, so I apologize. So what we were just talking about, the accelerated qualifier, that's doubling your Go Fast bonuses to 20, 10, 20, and unlocking level 4. So the two things you need to do is to achieve GoPro Go MVP, or Go MVP, and then stay commission qualified, meaning, be active, like you're on SmartShip, right? Now to power up, to unlock, you can see here, level 5, 6, 7, 8, it's 2%. Go Fast bonuses might not seem like a lot, but as your team is growing wide and growing deep, these 2% really start to add up. And it starts to getting, like money that you're relying on. So as your team is growing, this is something that you want to aspire to. So there's 3 qualifiers. One is 10 personally enrolled customers in the last 31 days. So this is the look back again. From today, 31 days past, you want to have 10 customers and you want to have 1,500 volume in the last 31 days. Now I don't know if that scares some people, if it seems like a lot, but if you've got 10 customers that are on SmartShip, for example, I mean, that right there is almost half the volume, right? It's, I don't know, it's about a third of the volume right there is just in those customers. So then it's just whatever new volume that you've got, like any new promoters or anything like that. So this qualifier, 10 customers in a 31-day look back and 1,500 volume, this is the same, it's not 10 new customers from the mentor bonus. It's the same 10. So if you've got 10 customers, you've unlocked levels for your mentor bonus and for your Go Fast bonus. You guys get that? Okay, so I'm speaking way too slow because we've only got 10 minutes left. If we get cut off, I'll log right back in, okay? Is everyone good on this? It's the same concept of the mentor bonus. This is the commission on any promoters that your team brings in.
So the Go Fast bonus you can get weekly.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So any promoter on your team that comes in from now until Sunday at midnight, that's your Go Fast bonus. You'll see it populated here, and then that gets paid out the Friday of the next week.
Okay.
Okay? Let me just go back. So that is the weekly bonuses. This whole section here, everything that the GoPro, Go MVP, Mentor, All-Star, and Go Fast is what you get paid on a weekly basis. We do have daily pay if you qualify for it, and this really starts to come into play like when you start making, like getting some big money, because you can only pull out $5,000 a day out of your wallet. So if your monthly pay is more than $5,000, you want to start pulling this out regularly so that you can get all of the money out of your wallet at once, right? So to qualify for daily pay, you have to be, minimum 50 volume, and you have to be on your first SmartShip has to have processed. So you can't get your daily pay in month 1, it's got to be month 2. Okay, and then at least rank 2. So all that does is unlock daily pay, and you will see in your wallet whether it just gets paid out or not. All right, monthly bonus. So this is this whole next section. This is the endorsement bonus, retailer, residual, match, and then your pools. And I'll go through all of these. But this is monthly bonus. So this is calendar month. So today we got paid for the calendar month of December. And what you can always do if you're never sure about what you're getting paid, up at the top, there's pending in history. All right. When you click on pending in history, there's a pull down menu of all the commission periods of when this person made some money. So if you want to know, I mean, we got paid today, but if you want to know what this person, let's say this was yesterday, the 14th. If you want to know what you're getting paid today, you go into pending in history and you can click on the monthly and it'll tell you right there what you're getting paid, and it shows you the breakdown. Okay? Everyone good with pending in history? Okay, so monthly bonuses. These first two sections, endorsement bonus and retailer bonus, these are strictly customers. Everything that we talked about up here in the weekly pay was all promoter based. This is customers. So the endorsement bonus is dollar for dollar the equivalent of your two biggest customer orders in the calendar month. This number will always change regularly. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. This will fluctuate through the month. So when you get, here I'm just going to explain what retailer bonus is, and then I'll explain the difference between the two. So retailer bonus is just commission on customers. Okay? And then endorsement bonus is prove it bucks on customers. So I'll give you a scenario. I enroll one customer. One customer is going to show up in my retailer bonus. When I enroll a second customer, my retailer bonus goes away, but I'll have an endorsement bonus because the system will take the average of my two biggest orders in the calendar month. So these numbers change all the time, because if I enroll a third customer, what happens is, okay, I'm going to do some numbers here. Let me just to help make sense a little bit. Okay. Can you guys see me quick? Can you guys see what I'm writing here? So if I enroll customer one, and let's just, for easy math for me, they get 100 volume. So I would get a retailer bonus of $20 because it works out, the calculation I'll go through in a second, but basically it's 20% of the volume. So I would make $20. But let's say I get customer two, and they order 200 volume worth of product. Can you guys see that okay? So now what happens is my retailer bonus goes away, but the endorsement bonus now becomes the average of these two. So I've just gotten, I don't know, let's say it's $400 worth of product. I'll make $200 in Prove It Bucks. Okay? But let's say I get customer three and they bought maps and it's 80 volume. So what happens is it takes, the endorsement bonus is the two biggest orders in the month. So it'll be the average of the first two. And then I'm going to get a retailer bonus of like $16 because it's 20% of the 80 for my retailer bonus. And then if I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 customers, the two biggest will be my endorsement bonus, and the retailer bonus will be commission on all the other orders. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Dennis, can I just interrupt one quick second?
Absolutely.
I don't know if everybody knows, if you go in on your homepage, there's like a downloads thing, and there's a thing that will say like promoter buying guide, I think it is, and customer buying guide. I can't remember the exact names. Anyway, it will show you there where your volume is, because honestly, that was my biggest hurdle when I first started. I couldn't understand. So what the volumes were for everything. So there's a regular volume associated with every single product.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as there's a sale, the volume changes because the company is obviously not making as much when they discount it. So then they can't pay us the same amount. So they need to discount the volume that we're going to get paid on. But just so you can kind of understand that. And that's where all those numbers come from. Because for me, that was my biggest thing when I first started, was understanding where these volume numbers were coming from.
Right. Yeah, thanks, Karen. So if you ever need to know where your customers are, I mean, this account isn't active, so it's hard to show. But right now, because there's no green bar here or sliding yellow if I'm halfway, I don't have any customers. But if I had one customer, I'd click more info and it would show here. It would show what the customer is, what they paid. And then when I have two, it'll show you how it's calculated. All right. And then the other thing, just to touch on what Karen was talking about, if you go on community, I always just bring this drop down to placement tree community so I can see everybody on this team. As it's loading, you click on Insights, and this Insights page here tells you what they ordered. You can see here what they ordered. Let me just scroll down. And here, what the volume was on that order and what the dollar volume was. So to help you calculate your retailer bonus and your endorsement bonus, this helps as well. Or if you see, like if you're just here in the community tab, and it says this customer showed up, what did they order? You can just go into Insights and it'll show you right away what they ordered, what the volume was, what you're getting paid. Okay. So we have, you know what? We have less than a minute, and it's going to be a hard stop. Why doesn't everybody log off and we'll log back on? Okay.